All right, I absolutely love this story. We're so pumped for football. You can hear it this Saturday on Extra 1360. If you don't have tickets, grab them right now at goaztecs.com. Aztecs, New Mexico State, 4 days away, and Segun Olubi is an Aztecs captain. He went from a walk-on to scholarship last week. This week, he was named a captain by his teammates, and he joins us right now on Extra 1360. And what a route, by the way, Segun, also to San Diego State. It's great to have you with us here on Extra 1360. Just describe for us what this has been like, this last week or so of your journey, finding out you're on scholarship now, finding out you're one of the team captains. This has been a whirlwind week for you, hasn't it been?
Yeah, thank you for having me on. It's been amazing. The last week has really been kind of a blur. It's kind of surreal to have two great honors bestowed upon you in 1 week. So I'm just very thankful.
Yeah, it's amazing the path you can take sometimes to get to your final destination. I mean, growing up in Philly, you were in Arkansas at Harding, you were at Saddleback in Arizona, you make home here in San Diego, and you find yourself at the top of the depth chart at your linebacker position. I mean, talk about that path a little bit. Like, what did you learn along the way about yourself? Was there any points where you sort of doubted where this football journey was taking you?
I feel like the deeper I got into the journey, the more I just felt like it was for me. It was something that I really wanted to do. It was something that I loved because as adversity hit, there was that drive to keep going. It just kept getting stronger and stronger. The more adversity came, the more I felt like I had to keep fighting. So,
how fortunate do you feel that when you made it to Division I football at the FBS level, you ended up on one of the premier defenses in the country with some of the premier teachers in the country? I'm thinking of Brady Hoke, your head coach. Kurt Maddox, obviously your defensive coordinator. I mean, you really ended up in an ideal spot, didn't you?
It's a blessing. I mean, Coach Hoke, Coach Maddox, all the defensive staff here, they're great teachers. They've helped me get in a position to have success in our defense. So I'm just very thankful that I got to be a part of such a great defense.
What game was it last year? And correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was last year. You had this huge interception return. Was it Hawaii?
Yeah, it was Hawaii.
Yeah,
Hawaii.
okay.
Yeah.
So, he steps in front of one, John. I mean, and you remember the play too, but you take it 70 yards or more to the house. And I just remember thinking, like, that is the fastest man on the field. You're playing the linebacker position. How much are we going to see you at the line of scrimmage? How much are we going to see you off the ball? How much are we going to see you in pass coverage? Because your speed gives this defense a real dynamic at that position.
I mean, this defense has been multiple for years now. It's very different. You're going to see me in the backfield. You're going to see me on the line. You're going to see me at backer depth. You might even see me in the post. I mean, what Coach Maddox and Coach Hoke are doing with this defense is really phenomenal. And like I said, I'm glad to be a part of something so dynamic.
Segun Olubi joining us right now on Extra 1360. Aztecs captain, San Diego State, getting ready for New Mexico State Saturday night in Carson. Tickets are available right now at goaztecs.com. You can catch that game right here on Extra 1360 as well. Segun, if you wouldn't mind, take us through the recruiting process. How does it play out from Harding to San Diego State? And what did they sell you on, and why did you choose the Aztecs?
It was a little quiet, I ended up just kind of applying here to try to make sure I could go to school somewhere, and then really reaching out to the coaches because, like you said, this is a premier defense. This is somewhere in Southern California close to home that is probably the best defense around here. So I really wanted to be a part of this program here. So I reached out to the coaches, and they were real receptive, and I'm very thankful for that.
How has this offseason compared to last year's offseason? Obviously, we're still amid a pandemic here, but there have been some, I guess, more relaxed mandates this offseason. Has it been much better as far as meetings and practices and getting prepared for this year's season?
Yeah, it's really nice to be able to be in person and see each other's faces and kind of get that intensity. I feel like the team is a lot closer this year just because we get to hang out around each other more, and therefore we get to fight a little bit more in practice, kind of go back and forth with each other and get that edge, that we needed. So it's really nice to be around each other this year.
What are your concerns about Saturday? I mean, it's very easy for us to look at a box score and see that New Mexico State was soundly beaten in their opener by UTEP 30-3. But when you watch New Mexico State on film, what gives you concerns?
Just the fact that everybody knows that week 1 and week 2, that's going to be your biggest jump. And they've got real good skill returning back. The quarterback is big, thick. He's got a nice arm. Running backs run hard. So we're just trying to make sure that we club and wrap and that we execute the game plan.
Yeah, you look at the box score, and this quarterback, he's going to take the ball in the run game as much as he's going to throw it. I mean, from that standpoint, dual threat guy, are you guys, what's the game plan exactly to corral some of the talents under center?
Coach Mash is going to get us in position to make sure that we aren't getting out leveraged. He's got a sound plan in place, so we're just making sure that, like I said, we execute that plan. But yeah, it's definitely sound. We're making sure that we don't get out leveraged.
Segun Olubi joining us right now on Xtra 1360, Aztec linebacker. Again, getting ready for Saturday night, the Aztecs opener in Carson against New Mexico State. And again, tickets are available at goaztecs.com. Segun, how has Jordan Brookshire looked in camp?
He looks good, man. That's my guy, Brookshire, man. He's athletic. He's strong. He's got a kind of quiet confidence about him that you just see, like that swag come out on the field. So I'm glad that he's number one for us.
We were talking to your coach a couple of days ago. Last week, as a matter of fact, Brady Hoke joined the show. And we were asking him questions about this defense and leadership. And he had an interesting answer. He said, we got Jonah Tavai. He speaks up sometimes. But for the most part, our leaders really lead by example. Would you agree with that? Or is there, in your opinion, a more vocal leader that really rallies the guys on your side of the ball?
Yeah, we're definitely a lead by example group, just kind of doing things the right way. Caden will speak up when needs to, you know what I mean? Myself and all the other guys, when we see something, we will say something, but for the most part, we just kind of let guys watch us do our thing, you know what I mean?
What's your goal, Segun, for the season?
The goal is to win 22. That's the goal. That's been the goal for some years now, and it's time to do that.
Yeah, it's amazing. That is a message we hear, regardless of who we talk in the athletics, or I should say in the Aztec football program. It's that win 22. What does that mean to you specifically? Like that idea of just chasing the next one, no resting on the laurels. We're just moving on to winning this next conference championship. Does that resonate with you deeply personally? Is that something that legacy that you want to leave on this university before you leave?
Yes, I mean, nothing would make me more happy than to win 22. It's kind of that mentality of fighting for the next success. Yes, last play was great, but let's move on and let's make next play better, and we're kind of applying that kind of mentality to the whole program as far as moving forward and getting the next conference championship.
How did your parents react when they found out you were on scholarship?
My mom was just so happy for me. She called me, she was screaming a little bit, and then she just was really proud that what I had wanted from when I was young, it finally happened for me,
Yeah, she now she's like, did you have a conversation? You're like, yeah, Mom, now that you're saving all this money on tuition, is it time you buy me a car?
Nah, man, my mom takes care of me, man, so I've got everything I need,
Oh, I hear you. No, it's great. It's a great story, buddy. And honestly, watching you develop on the Mesa and getting an opportunity to call your games, it's been a privilege, an honor. I'm glad you came back for this super senior year, whatever you want to call it. This pandemic has stunk, but this story is a great one. So thank you for your time. Looking forward to calling your games this season, brother.
All right, then. Thank y'all for having me.